going on.
Feel like $1 million. Want to check out that ring?
What's up, TMZ?
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
What's up, man?
TMZ Sports.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my very buff guy, Mojo Mutati. Mojo, we're going to start. Where do you think? That's right, Aaron Rodgers, Mojo. Aaron Rodgers, the guy we've been talking about all week since that crazy accident on Monday. And now we can say, Mojo, that the healing process, the rehab process has officially begun for Aaron Rodgers because this week, Mojo, he actually flew out here to Los Angeles and had surgery that was done by probably the most famous orthopedic surgeon in the entire world right now, Dr. Neil Elatraj, Mojo. So first, and we are actually going to hear from Aaron Rodgers because today he broke his silence for the first time, gave his first interview. But here was Aaron announcing that he underwent successful surgery. He says, surgery went great yesterday. Thank you for all the love and prayers and support. And thanks to the GOAT, Dr. Elatraj, and his staff for starting me on the road to recovery with a heart, Mojo. So surgery done. Now it's about rehabbing and getting back to that football field, Mojo. Now, when that happens, a lot of people said maybe next year, maybe never. I don't think there's anybody out there that Mojo considered that Aaron Rodgers could possibly be back on the football field this season, maybe except for Aaron Rodgers himself. He had a phone call today with the Pat McAfee Show, of course, with Pat. Shocking stuff. Take a look.
I think what I'd like to say is, give me the doubts.
Yes.
Give me the doubts. Give me the timetables. Give me all the things that you think can, should, or will happen. Because all I need is that one little extra % of inspiration. That's all I need. So give me your timetable. Give me your doubts. Give me your prognostications. And then watch what I do. There's a process. There's certain markers we got to hit.
You trying to say you're coming back this season?
Yeah, what's happening? Are you coming back for the playoffs this year?
I'm not gonna make any of those statements. I don't feel like that's fair to myself. I'm just.
Is it a possibility?
I think, as Kevin Garnett said, anything's possible.
Wow, Mojo.
So we're talking about a completely severed Achilles tendon and coming back in time for the playoffs in just 3 or 4 months. Dude, if that happens, if Aaron Rodgers is able to come back that quick, give this guy a PhD in just about everything right away, because I've never heard of someone coming back even barely shorter than a year for an injury of this magnitude. And like I said, I've had a similar injury. I was out for 18 months from this. It essentially ended my NFL career when I was teammate of Aaron Rodgers. So to say that, I mean, this is crazy. Like reading between the lines of what he said, he's not guaranteeing he's going to be back this season in time for playoffs or the Super Bowl. He's leaving it out there as a possibility, which also is interesting too, because if you're the New York Jets, are you implying now that you're not going to IR him for the season and you're going to keep him around in case he can do a end of the season comeback? Because that also has serious implications when you're looking at signing another player to your roster. But I mean, the good news here is that he fully intends on coming back to football.
Right.
You heard it. That question is now answered. We literally went from, is he ever going to play again, to is he going to play this season, which is about as much of a 180 as you can get for something.
Yeah, no, I had the same takeaway, Mojo. If people wondered about his mindset and if he felt like he was ever going to play again, obviously now that question has been answered. You know, yesterday we obviously read the initial statement and Aaron talked about being heartbroken, but said after the dawn, whatever the saying went, I don't remember the exact line, but we thought that he meant that he was coming back, but he didn't explicitly say it, and I think now he's made it about as clear as you possibly could. Mojo, the Super Bowl is on 2024, February 11th. That is a little bit more than 5 months away. This is an injury that you've heard people say is anywhere between 8, 9, 10, even maybe a little bit more months to fully recover. He's 39 years old. It gets harder as you get older. He said he wanted the doubters. There's going to be a lot of people who are doubting that Aaron has any chance that he could possibly return this year. We'll see. If there's anyone that could do it, Aaron Rodgers is probably that guy, but it might be asking even a little bit too much for someone even as great as him to come back that quick from such a serious injury. But we'll see what happens. Now, Mojo, when he comes back, whenever that is, if it's this year, if it's next season, how good is he going to be? Might he lose something off his proverbial fastball after going through this really serious injury? Well, Mojo, we talked to somebody who knows what it's like to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever and also knows what it's like to be a Green Bay Packers quarterback and also the New York Jets quarterback, Brett Favre. Mojo, we had a conversation with Brett Favre. Now, this was yesterday. This was before Aaron spoke, but injury, still the same thing. We asked Brett, what does Aaron look like when he finally does come back? Take a look.
He can bounce back from this. There's no question. It's not the end of his career unless he chooses to end it. I personally think that he will come back and be as good, if not better than ever. I don't see him going out like this. So I would just kind of tell him, you got time. You got a lot of time. Let surgery take place, get into recovery, start seeing how you feel. How's your mind feel? Is it in the right place? Because it seemed to me from the outside looking in, they had a good thing going there. Just the vibe I was getting. And if that's the case, if he felt that way too, give it a shot. So that's what I would tell him.
Mojo, talking about physically, Brett looking buff.
Yeah, man. I mean, brother's been staying in shape, but this is a guy that is a Hall of Fame quarterback that had the exact same career path as Aaron Rodgers. And, really any player, regardless of position, but someone that has made it that far and been that successful in football, they know they probably had their own share of injuries to overcome, and making a comeback from an injury like that at 39, it's hard to envision a situation that will be more difficult than that, but you don't get that far by just giving up when things get challenging. You make it that far for a very, very specific reason. So I have no doubts that Aaron Rodgers wants to come back, that he's going to do everything that he can when he comes back, and he's really going to give it all. But I mean, you got to look at this situation. He is probably going to be a step slower afterwards. His new 100% is going to be less than it was a week ago. But even then, with how good Aaron Rodgers is, he can still do some serious damage at 90, 80, 70, even 60%. I mean, the guy is still an absolute phenom. So, again, I think Aaron Rodgers will be back. My money is on next season, not this season. And I think he'll be just fine.
Coming up next in TMZ Sports, is Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift? Well, his brother, Jason Kelce, also an NFL star, was asked that very question after his Thursday night football game last night. His answer, I think it was very revealing. We'll hear it next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, there is a potentially massive new relationship involving one of the biggest sports stars and one of the biggest musicians in the world. Yes, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift might be dating each other, Mojo. And Travis's own brother is throwing some fuel on the fire, Mojo. So let's set this thing up. Last night, Thursday night football. Jason Kelce's team, the Eagles, playing the Minnesota Vikings. They end up beating the Vikings. Now, after the game, the game was actually on Amazon Prime. Jalen Hurts scored 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts and his center, Jason, sat down with the guys on the Prime post-game show, and it turned into a little bit of a gossip fest thanks to one of, speaking of tight ends, one of the greatest tight ends ever, Tony Gonzalez. He wanted to get some information, he said, for his daughter So he began prying, asking Jason questions about his brother's love life. Take a look.
Talk about family, and I have a 15-year-old daughter, and she's a big fan of a certain pop star, and you have a family member, a brother, I think, and I've been hearing rumors that there's maybe some stuff. Can you comment on this?
I have seen these rumors. I cannot comment.
This damn gossip.
TMZ, what are we doing?
It's for my daughter, okay?
What are we doing?
Ever since catching Kelce, everybody has been infatuated with Travis's love life. So I don't really know what's going on there. So yeah, I know Trav is having fun, and we'll see what happens with whoever he ends up.
You see, we got a little shout out there. They said, "What's this TMZ?" Mojo, this makes me think that there is something there. There's some backstory here. A couple months ago, Taylor Swift was on that big countrywide tour. Travis Kelce went to at least one of the shows that was at Arrowhead. Now, at Taylor Swift shows, the thing is to give out these friendship bracelets. Well, Travis, he made a special one for her with his phone number on it. Unfortunately for Trav, never actually got the face-to-face meeting, at least not at the concert with Taylor. But the speculation is, Mojo, that they somehow got hooked up with each other after the concert, and now, yeah, they're actually a thing. And Jason didn't do anything to dispel those rumors, in my mind.
I mean, I don't know why Tony Gonzalez is asking Jason Kelce what the situation. He could have called me. I mean, I'm the twin brother. He's just a regular brother. I'm the twin, the doppelganger. I can give you all the insight on this, but I mean, I kind of hope this is true. I kind of hope this is not true. Also, is it just me? Anytime someone says catching Kelce and we think about that TV show, I just start laughing. I mean, you ask Travis, he hates that show. He was so embarrassed by it, and it's hilarious hearing him talk about it. But this would be a good situation. I mean, talking about most eligible bachelorettes out there, T Swift would probably be at the top of the list. That a very good situation for my guy, but I am concerned about my doppelganger here because Taylor Swift probably has one of the worst, if not the number one worst dating record out there. I mean, how many people can you say that after you break up with them, 80% of them have a hit song written about them and why they
Can
suck?
you imagine, Mojo? Yeah, they date if they unfortunately break up. I wouldn't mind hearing a Travis Kelce Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see what happens. Does your gut tell you yes or no, dating or not?
Of course. He looks like me. That's a lock. I mean, of course she's interested.
Coming up next in TMZ Sports, Deion Sanders clapping back at the coach of Colorado State, and he did it by gifting his players something pretty cool. Whole team got brand new sunglasses. We'll hear from Coach Prime next on TMZ Sports.
And I sat down with ESPN today, and I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them I took my hat off, and I took my glasses off, and I said, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, that, of course, was Jay Norvell, the head coach of the Colorado State football team earlier this week. Now, we talked about this yesterday, Mojo. Colorado State playing a big-time rivalry game against Deion Sanders' Colorado Buffaloes team. They're the hottest team in college football right now. They're the biggest story in college football. And Jay said, hey, I don't care if they hear this in Boulder. Well, we know, per our conversation yesterday, that they did hear it in Boulder because Deion spoke with his players at practice. Well, Mojo, now Prime taking it to the next level. He's not done talking about Jay's comment, and he is certainly not letting it go. Even gave out some gifts today. Take a look.
Man, we got something to give him? Yeah. Let's give him something. Let's give him something. These are the shades. I'm going to give you these. Yeah, Miss Brown made it perfect. I just want to see how y'all look here. You look good. Other side looks good. On my mama, on my hood.
So Mojo, right? This was Deion with his team. Now he is a absolute master promoter because Deion has actually a deal with this sunglass company. He's got his own model, Blender sunglasses. They're called the Prime 21. So he gives the players the sunglasses, gets a nice plug for his company. And oh, by the way, he keeps the players very focused that other coach, he was talking bad about us. And you get the feeling, at least I do, that this is going to be an absolute massacre of a game on Saturday when these two teams finally line up against each other.
I mean, thank goodness to college NIL for making all this possible.
You're right. Good
Not
point.
too long ago, Colorado State and Coach Jay would have won via forfeit because everyone on that would have been suspended for receiving free gifts.
Deion would have been lined up, Mojo. He would have had to play in the game.
He would have had to hand back his Hall of Fame jacket, turn back all of his titles for violating all of these policies. But all right, new world. Here we are, and we are very, very much better off for it. I love this. I love that he got the entire team in on it. That's almost the dichotomy here. Big SAT word for you between these two coaches. Everyone on Coach Jay's team is like, shut up, coach. You're like, quiet down. You're throwing us under the bus here. You're making this already difficult game that much worse for us, whereas Coach Prime is handing out shades to everyone on his team and getting them in on this in a positive way. Coach Prime has his own style, right? That's what made him a great player. That's what's made him such a great coach immediately. It's still crazy how much success he's had so fast that, his kids are on the team, which they're also dominating probably just as much as he is, but it is just a cool matchup. Again, we talked about this a bit yesterday. I like poking fun at Coach Jay. I think maybe if I were him, I probably wouldn't have thrown gas on the fire here, especially considering my team just got blown out the week before by a team that as good as Colorado is now. But I still think at the end of the day, this is still a lot of fun. He's trying to instigate a rivalry. That just makes college sports better for everybody. I mean, even for the guys on Colorado State, even if they were to get slaughtered during the game, they probably would have gotten slaughtered anyways, but at least they had a little build-up and a little bit of fun. Maybe sell more tickets beforehand. So at the end of the day, it's probably, a bit of
I think it gets them, Mojo, it gets them so much attention. I mean, Colorado State, typically nobody's talking about them. And look at us here now. This is not a game that we ever would have talked about in the past. I was talking to this one of our local affiliate news stations in Denver. They're asking me about the Colorado State game. So these teams are receiving buzz like they have never, ever had before. And that, let's be honest, that is owed to that man right there. I don't think that this is something that other coaches could replicate. Deion Sanders is truly one of a kind. He's a unique guy, so I don't think this is something you're going to be seeing across college sports, but it's working for Deion Sanders in an absolutely massive way, and he's got that football team being talked about. They're playing well on the field, and whatever they're paying him, he's worth a whole bunch more. Coming up next in TMZ Sports, Brock Purdy loses a bet to George Kittle. You will not believe what the San Francisco 49ers quarterback had to do, and it was all captured on video. You'll see it next on TMZ Sports.
Want to listen to today's show? Now you can check us out on the go with the all-new TMZ Sports podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to subscribe and listen, where as always, tomorrow's show will be the best show since today!
The merriment.
Oh, wow.
Is that what took all this time?
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
I thought that was Lee Corso.
Wow.
That was spectacular.
That was the term of the bet?
Yeah, whoever lost
the game had to wear the other team's mascot helmet up here, so here we are.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, we don't have much time left, but we couldn't end the show without showing this video of Brock Purdy, the star quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, wearing the mascot head of not his alma mater, but no, his hated rival. So we weren't going to pass up this opportunity. This happens, Mojo. Teammates make bets, and over the weekend, last weekend, the Iowa Hawkeyes beat the Iowa State Cyclones. Now, Brock Purdy went to Iowa State. You know who went to Iowa? His star tight end, George Kittle. So the guys made a bet. If the other guy's team won, you'd have to wear the mascot. And we know that the Hawkeyes beat the Cyclones 20-13. It was a close game, but close don't count. And because of that, Brock Purdy in the Hawkeye mascot.
I'll say, Babcock, this is a good bet, but it's not a great bet. No? I love the concept. You've seen players do this in the past. Actually being able to retrieve the mascot helmet is a fantastic thing, and I certainly know my way around the inside of a mascot helmet. But Kittle failed to specify the length of the bet. Just the approach, the entrance with the helmet was not enough. If you're asking me, Babecock, he should have had to wear that helmet the entire interview with his voice muffled through it. That would have been great. That would have been so much better than what we got. Maybe Kittle said it. Maybe Brock Purdy just, wussed out and took it off too sure. But either way, I think this is just notes for next time. We got to get it. We got to do it better next time.
All right, there it is. Next time they play next year, you got to wear it for longer, Brock. Although I'm sure he hopes his team wins next year. We'll see what happens. I love these kind of bets, fun stuff between teammates. We have got to go, Mojo. We're out of time. Everybody have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Got a bunch of big stuff, big stories, big videos, all of it for you on Monday. Should be a pretty great show.
Matter of fact, Babcock, it'll be the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.